Alright, nice shot. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Road to 150. If you guys know what today is, it's nothing special, apparently. It's just another Thursday. No, I'm just kidding. But it is our schedule release day. It's the NFL schedule release, the bye weeks, all the things that we matter, care about, our talking points on it, the little micro EVs, as we like to say, micro edges. So I am Davis Peng, writer for Fantasy Six Pack and Stochastic, and with me is the owner of the channel, the ever so dope Hope. How you doing today, Hope?
I'm doing good, Davis. I'm doing good. Excited. I love this day, because I love what drew me to best ball was that game theory, and then you layer on the week 17 stuff, and so I love it. I'm all about it. To a certain extent, you're right. Like micro edges, it's part of the process, right? It's part of what we do. It's not. It doesn't need to be like everything when you reach and when you take it too far. I would say, but no, it's a big day. It's fun. It's fun to think about the matchups now, even not even just week 17, but the playoff matchups. You got Derrick Henry playing the Texans twice in the playoffs. If he can get
That
there. Now, if he can get there healthy, and that's exciting.
I
But
mean, you know, right as of right now, he has right. He's always done it, and until starts not being healthy, then we can put that as in there. But as of right now, he's the guy that's played at least 15 games or more every season. Like we should be excited. Like this is where it's at. This is a guy that's probably low owned that got passed up a lot at the 2-3 turn. So I know Davis Maddock tweeted that out, and it
yeah,
made everybody laugh, right? Like you can't predict these kind of things, like nobody's guessing a near back to back division rival game in playoff time, so
yeah.
it's gonna be good stuff.
No, it's exciting. It's a fun day. I do love the corny videos the teams put out with their different ways of announcing their schedule. Like the Titans one I thought was hilarious.
I didn't see theirs. I just saw
So
the
the Titans,
Chargers.
have you seen those TikToks or videos where they'll show sports team logos to whoever who is not an NFL fan, and they'll just say random stuff for the team name, and they did that for all of their matchups. So it was a cute one, and then
Oh, that's good.
they were also good. I'm gonna go back later and watch all the different ones. Um,
I need to get to that. That's pretty good though. Damn, I feel like I missed out now. I only saw the Chargers one, and I guess because that's just the weeaboo in me that is enjoying the anime. Plus, I'm a closet Chargers fan. Like I really am. I
yeah,
root for them. They're such underdogs. Nobody likes them. They have no real fans, so they have to rely on. They're like kind of like in a way like the America's team in a way where everyone's just like, "Yay, Chargers! You're
well,
exciting."
I guess your two teams play each other in week 1 then.
I'm excited, dude. I love the Chargers Dolphin games. I consider them like division rivals in their own right because like every Dolphin Charger game is generally just good.
Yeah,
Like I don't ever, no one's not looking forward to those kind of matchups. Like everyone loves playing the Chargers. Like they put up a good show every year because they've had a franchise quarterback every year. So it's a good time to play against the Chargers.
yeah.
Um, Other than that, I mean,
Yeah, let's
should we
get
get
into
this going?
yeah,
Should we
let's
get
get into these games.
so right off the bat? Me and Hope have just created a. I say we, but Hope created a simple spreadsheet for us to
Yeah,
keep track of this. And Hope, let's go with yours first. Let's talk about your favorite, your least favorites, and then your sneaky favorite, as we call it.
yeah, absolutely. Detroit and Dallas. That was the first one that stuck out to me in a dome in week 17. As we're going to talk about with some of these other games, there's a lot of weather issues, which it's predicting the weather 4 or 5 months out. You can't do it. You never know. Like we saw tons of cold weather games this week 17 that popped off. Right, it's not impossible. But when you get that extra little edge with the dome, we get Detroit and Dallas. A couple of offenses I would say we're definitely excited about the Lions. Dallas, we're a little worried they're gonna boomer up the offense and run a lot and not be fun. But as much improvements as Detroit made on the defensive side of the ball, I still expect this game. And Dallas has a great defense as well. So it could in the end backfire. But just off the rip, it looks like two fun offenses in a dome in week 17. I'm excited for it. And I might even go to it here in the DFW. So we'll see. Be fun to
Oh,
sweat.
oh my god, I'm jealous. You can actually, and then you get to sweat it out live, at least the first day. And to top it
Hopefully.
off, like here's the coolest thing about the Detroit Dallas game. It's probably going to outscore the Thursday Jets Brown because one, short weeks are just always terrible, and then secondly, like you could have that lead. You could have that like going into Sunday morning lead. Like, what if Dak goes off? What if Jared Goff goes off? What if you have Jameson Williams, Amon Ra? Like, what if one of those guys goes off and you're just feeling good about your week 17 morning? I don't know. I think that's like in its own right really worth going to or having this kind of team even because they're not bad offensive teams. Real on paper, they are not.
No, they're not, and I'm excited for them. And yeah, we'll do it. Let's see. Yeah, Stephanie said let's do it. Absolutely. Also, Stephanie, Patriots play in Dallas week 4. We're definitely going to that one. Um, so it'll be fun. What's your first one? What's your favorite one?
So my favorite is the Chargers Broncos. As Ben here is pointing out, like Broncos clinching the first seed against the Chargers. Like, yeah, who knows, right?
Ben's a Broncos fan, by the way.
Hey, have at it, Ben. Everyone thinks I'm one because I always talk about the Broncos like it's just a ton every year. Or just I feel like they're underrated when it comes to fantasy. Besides last year, I feel like everybody overrated them, and I had to bring everyone back down a little bit. But Chargers Broncos, they could be playing for the second seed. They could be playing, they could be playing because you have the Chiefs. It's two franchise quarterbacks. Russ, I think, is going to have a nice bounce back. Russ last year in the playoff time, I think he had like 320, like 22-point games. Like he was slinging. Like Nathaniel Hackett was out the door. They were getting things done. Like Russ was showing up, and no other team to show up against the Chargers, a team that's mediocre on defense, right? But a great offense. You get Kellen Moore out there, like. And here's the thing: their ADPs are just pretty good. The Chargers Broncos, their first receivers at pick 47. You got Jerry Jeudy at 47, 48. Cortland Sutton, has a give or take is at 95 to 110, given what draft you're in. So they're not highly targeted. You still got Marvin Mims. You still got Samaje P. Ryan out there. So Russell Wilson pick 125. Like this is an easy stack to get,
Yeah.
easy bringbacks to get. So like Chargers Broncos, like as I was gushing earlier, Chargers are so much fun to play against.
Yeah. I'm excited about that one too. You always have to worry about it. Maybe some potential weather in Denver, but if not, it's two teams we are excited about. Especially the Chargers. The Broncos are in a tough spot. Like you're hoping for that bounce back. And you're right though on the price. Like a lot of times now, like last year when you were building these teams, the Broncos were kind of that first offense you had on your team, right? Like that was your main build, and then you added something to it. This year, the Broncos for a lot of teams are going to be your second stack, maybe your third, usually your second. So it makes it a little bit more
Pick
palatable.
pick 180 Mims, like whatever, like who cares, right? Like it's just one of those that it could be good, and we both at least know that there's serviceable offenses on paper, right? Like,
Right.
and that's what you need. You want at least a serviceable offense in a division game, playing for something that matters.
Absolutely. Let's go negative here, and then we'll do our sneaky one. My negative, Davis. Do you know what the record is for the fastest NFL game ever played?
No, but I
No,
have to assume it's two guys shoving the ball on the ground.
yeah, guess what? I don't know either, but I think we're gonna get it set with this Falcons at Bears game in Week 17. Let me paint a picture for you. It's in Chicago. It's like 2-3 inches of snow. They have 3 running backs in that backfield, as well as Justin Fields running the ball. We know the Falcons want to pound the rock. Like I could see this game being tons of handoffs back and forth in the snow. Could be sloppy. Like that's kind of my initial thesis. Obviously, look, the Falcons defense is nothing to write home about. Justin Fields could have a massive day against them. But just an initial game, I think that maybe could disappoint. Could be this Falcons at Chicago game. A lot of running, low scoring, maybe bad weather in Chicago. So that was the first one that stuck out to me of like, I'm not sure how much I'm going to be going out of my way to stack it. I definitely look, there's always a chance Justin Fields goes off against a defense we're not as sure on. The Falcons did make some improvements this offseason, but that's
I'm,
that's the initial one that stuck out to me as kind of maybe being a gross game in week
I mean,
17.
you're talking about DJ Moore, who's being drafted, pick 40 something, wide receiver 19. You're talking about Cole Kmet, who was he's the only one that's late, right? It's like the 130 down to moves, but like no one was really sold on the Bears coming into the season outside of DJ Moore and Justin Fields. And now you're telling me that I might not get that good combo in week 17. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, it sucks to double pick your player. Like, on the turn, I have to grab DJ Moore and Justin Fields. Like, where's this
Yeah,
fun, right? This might just, for all we know, this is just a Justin Fields game. Like, what if he's the only one that's really running and he steals your touchdown? We already are confused what the Bears are doing for running back. I mean, this could just be a terrible game, and I think that's fair. You're talking about 3 to 4 inches of snow. You're talking about cold weather.
potentially.
Yeah, it's just, what are we
Yeah,
gonna do?
I do think what Steph says though, and again, maybe that thesis could be wrong. I'm gonna definitely let these takes process because you could be like, oh, it's a bad weather game. It's gonna be a lot of running. It's Justin Fields. It's Bijan. So maybe those two pieces stick out even
Yeah,
more. So I'm not locked into that take. I just think overall there's a chance. Obviously weather dependent that's a little bit more of a sloppy game than I think people are gonna think.
it could even be a
Um,
Heineke game in Week 17.
you could, yeah,
Like, I'm not. I believe in Ritter to like finish the season out, but who knows? Like, we saw this last year with the Falcons when they were like, "Hey, Mariota, man, you're good. Like, you can sit down now." Like, at like week 17, actually, I think it was like week 16, 15. They were just like, "Hey, man, we're good. Like, go over there." So, I mean, that's a good one. I think that I was, besides Bijan, I wasn't really taking Falcons, and then
yeah.
besides, Fields and Moore, I was barely taking Bears. Like, I'm just kind of out completely now. I get it. We should have some exposures, but if there was ever a reason, a $3 million reason, as you always tell me, like, that's it. That's one of those, right?
Yeah, it is.
Um,
And like Terrence says here, it could be Justin Fields, right? Like we're gonna work through that, but there's some other ones that I like. We've got Raiders at Colts in a dome. I mean, in a dome, Anthony Richardson, week 17 against a bad Raiders defense. Like, could that be the running QB you need? At the end of the day, could the people um taking Anthony Richardson at pick 60 be vindicated? I don't know. It's possible because
I
that's a
mean,
good matchup
yeah, it's
in a
like it's
dome.
Anthony Richardson against a bad Raiders defense. That sounds good, like good times. He's gonna be fully awakened in week 17, I assume, or at least close to. So that's gonna be good times.
Chris saw the
Um,
Titan schedule release. It is
I need to
good.
catch that. I'd watch it right now if I wasn't doing this, right? um, my haterade pick, I would call it, is the 49ers Commanders.
Yep.
I wasn't So, like, the weapons on both teams are already kind of skeptical for me to an extent. Like, they're kind of hard to take. You take them anyways because they're talented. But like, if you remember what happened with the 49ers Commanders last year, it was kind of Dudsville. I think they played in week 16. They stuffed the run really hard. Jahan Dotson had this like crazy touchdown that kind of didn't make any sense. But like, out of that, that
Yep.
was it. Like, you got two solid defenses, right? If the Commanders get it together, they have a top 12 defense, and the 49ers are top five, right? Like, let's be being generously like conservative, saying top five. Um, like, who gets points and who does what? I don't know. We don't
Yeah.
know what Sam Howell looks like. We don't know what's going on. People are in on B Rob. I like B Rob, but against the 49ers defense, I'm telling you, if I was playing DFS that week, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be like,
No.
oh man, let's put some Brian Robinson into this, DFS lineup, right? So that's a
Yeah.
tough one for me
That's
to
something
like.
to consider too with Brian Robinson. Like, I've been taking him a decent amount, but from now on with builds, like when I'm considering like the full regular season and the playoffs, like I'm gonna want him with some other RBs I trust, I think, because if he's like your first or second running back in like a zero RB build, he probably would never be your first. But if he's your second guy and he's someone you're really counting on, like this kind of, I mean, it's not gonna change too much. Like you still gotta get there at the end of the day, but it's something to maybe consider a small percentage point.
So before I steal a thunder from your Vikings, but like Packers Vikings, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would probably want to pair B Rob with like AJ Dillon, like against a bad defense, right? Like AJ Dillon against the Vikings. But I'll let you go on that. You highlighted this one, so talk to us about Packers Vikings.
Yeah, and we've had a couple people, bring up some points on this one. I think again, it's the Sunday night hammer, the last game of week 17. The Vikings defense is not that good. The Packers offense is it's tough. Like we're projecting a lot here with, Jordan Love. We don't know how he's gonna perform, but I like this as a divisional game, a shootout in week 17 in the dome in Minnesota. You do have to worry about primetime Kirk Cousins popping
Oh,
out
dude,
there.
he killed so many of my teams last year in the finals.
But
I
yeah,
I,
no,
I wish I would have just lost because it was so bad. It was so bad. Like, all my finals teams, I think, had a Kirk Cousins on it or close, or Justin Jefferson.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for this one. I think it's gonna be a fun. game track meet there in Minnesota. So I think that was a sneaky one that people aren't gonna love. I don't think because the Packers do have a pretty good defense. But I think it's gonna be a fun game in Week 17. The noon nightmare is Kirk. Yeah, you get him at noon. He's great. He is gonna tear you up at noon. That's the noon nightmare.
Oh
But
my god, that's so good.
primetime Kirk is the midday messiah. Yeah, he's great. You get him at 12 o'clock. But no, I think that's a sneaky one. I think it'll be a fun game for Week 17.
All right. I mean, like I said, I have nothing against it. I just hate primetime Kirk. But who knows? It's at Vikings home. Maybe that's enough for him to like see the light. I guess I don't know what something about these guys on primetime is just crazy to me. But my favorite, I get full vindication. All you guys are hating on me. I guess I must have saw something that just pivoted me towards this. But Saints Bucks is my sneaky favorite. Come on, it's division rival, bad division, playing for like I said, it's probably gonna be playing for crap. They're gonna be playing for like some form of like 9-8 season. This whole division is so bad. So you got Saints Bucks, two pretty strong offenses on paper if things go through. You got Derek Carr with his, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, his new tight ends, Foster Moreau, Juwan Johnson, Michael Thomas versus, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, like, and they're not that great of deep. The Saints and Bucks took a step down last year defensively. If you it's one of those things that what costed them overall. So now you
Yeah.
had these two that are going to be bad. They're division rivals. They're going to go at it once again for put some time of thing to win the playoffs. Saints Bucks, man, like I like it. They're easy to stack. They're easy to get. You can even get double Buccaneers at pick 60 to 70 now. People are going to hate on it. I'm not worried. That's why I got both. Okay, that's why I got both. I don't get one. So, um, I'm stoked. Saints Bucks. I feel redeemed right now. After all those, Michael Thomas, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin takes. Like, this is where it's at. Week
So I'll
17.
I'll push back a little bit in that one where like who's playing quarterback for the Bucks in Week 17? CJ
First overall
Beathard,
pick, baby.
Baker
First overall
Mayfield,
pick.
Cal Trask. Like, are
Doesn't
they gonna
matter.
sign me off the street by that point? Like, I mean, I don't know where that team's gonna be in Week 17. I think the Saints defense isn't that bad, especially against a bad Bucks quarterback. I don't know, like over under on Michael Thomas, not CJ Beathard. Yeah, so I don't know. It's not for me still. I do think look, it's a good outcome. I have a lot of Saints. I've taken a lot of Saints, but we'll see. I think that it's more of like a middle of the road run out, I believe, for your take than like the highest end outcome you could have gotten. But
So
again,
if you
it's not bad.
give or take what this is, and everyone always wants to point to like like these really pretty games. Like, but think about some of the games that won in the past. You're talking like Detroit, Seattle was BBM2. You're talking about Saints, Alvin Kamara for BBM1. You're talking about like some of these uglier, lesser wanted teams.
Yeah.
And in my mind, at least with the offensive weapons, just look good enough to get
Yeah.
there. Like we could say Raiders Colts, but like I don't trust Jimmy G to give me a good game in week 17 ever. I would rather trust Baker Mayfield, even though he's terrible. Like I'd trust him to get like just a shootout game. This is my last game of the year, whatever, right? Like last games of the year. Same for Derek Carr, who's got paid. He's like, you're gonna get something. Uh and to top it off, it's gonna be in a decent weather. It's gonna be in Tampa. Like, and I think that's like one of those little push-ups that gives me a little bit of hope. It's gonna be in Tampa.
Yeah.
Um, so I know it's not pretty, but like some of these uglier games will do work while everyone's shooting out for Bengals, Chiefs,
Dolphins Ravens.
Packers, Vikings, Detroit, Dallas. And I liked some of these ugly games. Some of these get there. No
So
one thought last year that Daniel Jones was gonna have like his night on on week
the
17,
Daniel Jones 40 ball. Yeah.
or even don't even have Tom Brady anymore doing anything on his week 17 against the Panthers. So it happens.
This is a good pushback from Austin on my initial take of Falcons Bears. I think those are the two guys. Like it could be the opposite, If we get that slow slog, these guys are probably going to get a lot of carries, so it may end up being a better matchup. These kind of just gut takes there, but yeah, I agree with you. Like, there's so many fun ones, like Panthers Jags. That could be a fun one, right? If Bryce Young is developed more by the end of the season, he's kind of into a better flow. I think that could be a fun game. It's going to be at least warm weather down in
So
Jacksonville at
Vapor
that point.
pointed out one of my other teams I considered, which was
Yeah,
Dolphins Ravens. I
that's
like
an
this one
awesome one.
too. I'm a little worried about weather, just because it is Baltimore in winter. But I mean, if you're talking about on paper, like
Yeah.
weapons, like dude, that's what you want. You want, we're praying for Lamar MVP season, and then you get on the opposite side. By the way, if you guys don't know, like Lamar has always thrown like 5 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns against the Dolphins. Like every year he's played against us. His come out game was against us, and he threw 5 touchdowns to like Willie Snead and other unknown receivers, right? So like that's good.
I
If
mean,
if you're
week 2 of last year,
was
I
yeah,
remember
another
it
one.
very fondly because that's the I won the GPP on DraftKings, stacking
Every
up this game, right?
every I'm
Like
telling- every
it was
year,
awesome. So
Ravens Dolphins is just fun. I think my only issue is that it's going to be in Baltimore, but other than that, you got MVP, you got a guy coming back, you got Tyreek Will Waddle on the other side, keeping the game interesting.
yeah,
It's gonna be a good stack. And people are already stacking, some of these guys already because they're just good players. I don't sit there and go, Lamar ain't good, Mark Andrews isn't good, Tyreek Hill and Waddle ain't good, right? Like you're taking
yeah,
these guys out of their
yeah.
way. So that's a good one.
That's a good one. All right. Do you want to hop in the draft? We gotta get that
We're gonna
loaded
get
up.
into some BBMs.
I
I'm
have
hopping
to.
in right now.
Okay, let me hop in as well. Oh yeah, we're waiting for 8 over here.
8 more for BBMs. We're gonna
Perfect.
get
Gives
this
me
going.
time to share the screen. Perfect. Also, shout out Celtics forcing a game 7. Love to see it. All right, 2 more for BBM.
Oh,
Our first
jeez.
BBM since week 17.
I drafted against the robot today, so that was cool. I had no
That
idea it was
was
in it.
cool.
It was not cool. Okay, I have to be the guy that might lose to a robot. It's gonna be very embarrassing.
That's fair.
Seriously? Are we kidding?
102. Chris G's in this. Steph's in this. Man, I love it. Since we switched to this intro, you get the 111. I get the 102. Let's
Oh,
go.
freaking god! Every time I'm telling you, my average ADG is like 109. I'm always in the butt end of these
Chris
drafts.
gets the 101. I get the 102. This is fun. Steph's in here at the 108.
Well, at least I get to take CD Lamb. I think. I don't know. I
Jason's
don't
in
know.
here in the 7. Steph's the 108. Perfect. Exciting. Hey, another top 2 pick for me. I will take it. This is my 11th BBM. I think I already have 4 shares of Justin Jefferson.
This is
Oh,
my
3. I have 3 shares of
20.
Justin Jefferson.
This is my 28th BBM, and I have the 101 one time. I have probably like 17 shares of CD Lamb at this point. I don't even know for BBM specifically. Like that's all I have. I'm living in the 110s. I'm just gonna pinch a tent here. That's bad. One of these days, man, I'll get that 101 again.
All right. So I got my Bengal. Now I can start thinking about a Chief if I want to.
I'm gonna take Patrick Mahomes at the 101. I'm taking this. I'm gonna take him and T Higgins. Like screw you.
I didn't even look. Do they have the bye weeks in here yet?
They don't have the bye weeks.
Oh, good lucky. I have a handy dandy sheet that has them on there for me.
Oh shoot, I should have done that too. Whatever.
I'll share them with you.
I memorized just enough. I just know that I got lucky that the guys I like just happened to not fall together.
I did of my 10 BBMs. I got one that I believe it was Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones have the same bye. And
oh crap! I might have a few of those.
yeah,
Maybe. Oh, I probably do. I probably have like 1 or 2. And that's a dual QB team too. You're never gonna get 3.
in
You're never
mine.
doing 3 on those.
Yeah.
Oof,
Yeah, Vikings Giants week 13 bye. I just shared it with you if you want to take a look at the buys. It's on our sheet.
Oh, thank you. No graphics on these? Like, what am I supposed to? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No. Oh, whoops! I have week 6 twice.
Oh man.
Stephanie needs that bye week sheet as well.
I'm going against this. Come on, don't take that. Don't take it from me. You like Adams, the beach. You love Adams. That's who you want.
Adams, Eckler.
Oh, he wants Amon Ra. That's a pretty good one.
Amon Ra
well,
at the 110.
I'm on the opposite end. I took his come. I took his bring back. I took it. That's my bring back now.
You're gonna have so much CD. Yeah, that's gonna get super popular. I bet the CD Amon-Ra double tap gets steamed up to the 1-2 turn.
I'm so glad I started mixing those in. That's where it's
I
at.
mean, not that like you got a super big discount on Amon-Ra, but I think that's gonna be like a super common double tap at the turn.
Oh,
Like
I mean,
it
it's
should
not the
be.
discount that I want. It's at least a good combo. At least I feel better about that combo.
Yeah.
Oh man, who should I take? I really don't like some of this. Who Giants get? Should really pay attention to these more. I'm just gonna take Garrett Wilson here. You know what? No, screw it. We're gonna push down that field. We're gonna get that Ravens game a little bit. Could have taken Austin Eckler. I do like Austin Eckler just a ton. I just love him.
Okay.
You notice that
And then
Waddle's
Tyler
got up
Moody.
5 picks already. He was originally pick
Already?
20. He's at pick
Yeah.
15.
You
This
think
is
people are
before pick
pushing
18, I
him
mean.
up,
He
to
was-
stack with the Ravens?
This is before that. He was already moving up. He was
It's just
slowly
it's so
climbing.
tough to like. I mean, there's just like, don't you think there's no way Tyreek and Waddle can both pay off their ADPs in the first and second round again? I know we just saw him do it and put up that season, but it's like I just can't. I don't know. It doesn't feel good to me to be having the top two. I know, and I know we love that offense, but the AFC East has a brutal schedule this year.
I mean, it's probably good for advancement. Like the one thing you want at least from it, if you're not getting week 17, is you're getting the advancement. And if you are getting to week 17 with Tyreek Waddle, then you're gonna say, I think I want those two. Like you're gonna say that, right?
No, and
No one's gonna sit there and say, I kind of wish Tyreek, Waddle was, T. Higgins, or it doesn't feel, or maybe not him, like Waddle was like DK Metcalf. Like no one's stoked about that, right? So I you're getting good advance rates out of it because one of them is gonna be good no matter what.
right.
And then you throw in the fact that you will want them at week 17.
And there's also that reason of like um you could take like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, or you could take
Hey,
Waddle.
so Hope, I'm not sure if you noticed, it's just you see that Saquon fell like 8 picks.
You see him there.
I'm just saying it's a pretty good value. If not, it's pretty
No,
crazy.
I am gonna take him. I'm gonna value hound that every time.
You gotta value hound that.
I don't love Saquon that much, but I'm fine with that.
Oof.
This is tough. Like I do not have this schedule memorized yet. I don't need, and again, like this isn't like, oh, I
It's
have
Rams
to week
Giants.
17
It's Rams Giants at week 17.
in the Meadowlands. Yep.
Terrence says he's pushing up Metcalf. It's like the Durant effect.
Durant effect on Booker. That would be
it's not.
awesome.
You can't handle them all, and I think that is it is truthful to an extent. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Who is G taking? Is G gonna take that Texans? He's gonna get that Derrick Henry 15-17,
Because she here.
or is he gonna go for the Devonta Smith?
Who does he have? He's got Chubb
Oh,
and
he went
Jettis.
Chubb. I mean, I know you're not taking back-to-back running backs. There's no way, are you?
I mean, I love these running backs here versus wide receiver 2. Are you kidding me? I'm just kidding.
I mean, Derrick Henry Texans is like where everyone's gonna be praying
Jacobs.
they have 40 games.
Yeah, this is a tough choice. I don't know. Like I want to pick Ramondre here. I really do, but I'm gonna go with a second receiver.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vapor. Yes, guys, please hit the like and subscribe.
Hit the
All that
like and
fun
subscribe.
jazz.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Everyone who did it last week. We don't know what happened, but our last stream was awesome. It was our best performing one so far, and we got tons of subs. We appreciate it so much. It really keeps us motivated, and it does make a big difference.
It definitely like exceeded expectations by miles. I was sitting
It
there
was
just
awesome.
like, what did we do differently? Like, we were so confused. I'm like, oh, this was
No,
people
hey,
want
this is our
everybody.
intro. We're upping that production value a lot. We got a new outro we're gonna debut today, so you got to stay to the end to see that. It is locked and loaded. Chris says he almost took He almost took Henry. Yeah, I mean it's so
tempting.
enticing. Texans twice in the playoff weeks, like.
Oh my god.
And another good point too, I think is interesting when we're stacking these week 17 and we're trying to get these unique combos, like the players that make the final in BBM, it's going to be a lot chalkier, right? Because back to back 1 of 16s,
Oh my god, Henry's still falling. He's
Is
still
he gonna
falling.
get to? But back to back, like 1 out of 16s, it's gonna be a lot chalkier final, I think. And so having these extra stacks, these extra games, like you said, it may be the non-sexy games you don't think are gonna go off that do, like Patriots Dolphins did last year, and helped Pat win 2 million. So I think
I think they
that's
both
gonna.
did good that week too. I think they both had like at least decent performances.
Yeah, I mean, Mostert had like 26.
Oh, okay.
Taekwon.
He was auto drafted Derrick Henry. Dang. I was
No,
hoping he'd come to
he's
me.
in here. Jason's in here.
Oh, did okay. I
He's in
saw
the
it for a
7.
second. I was like, is he gonna take it? Oh, I'm staring at it. I'm staring at it. Ooh. Let's see. You said Panthers, Jags. I mean, Travis Etienne had that monster week 17. That was really nice. I had him on my puppy one that took me to 12th place. That was really nice to have Etienne that week. All right. Well, nobody wants these guys. Up, screw it. Get that bring back on that Jets Browns. Oh wait, I didn't grab great one.
Jason
Oh
says
yeah.
he couldn't bring himself to click Derrick
I was
Henry.
gonna say it sat for a minute.
I like that. It's tough, man, because you know the cliff is coming for Derrick Henry at some point.
Why you
But
gotta do that
man,
to me? Do me favors. Why?
it is enticing.
He took his third running back. You gonna take Najee
Well,
from
are you
me?
building a zero RB team? What is this right now?
I was trying to build Najee, but they got taken on the double take. This guy had 3 running backs. I didn't think that was gonna happen to me.
No. Terrence says he loves Cooper. I think, yeah, our last
This
in
is
that
like
tier.
my
Like I,
second Justin Fields share.
I, I think it is a good bounce back spot for the Browns. Like they can't be worse. So. And they have a lot of weapons.
I could have taken Gibbs there and got that Detroit Dallas
Oh, that would have been a
again,
good week
but
17.
I'm taking the Fields. I was doing
Yeah,
field projections and I like crap my pants. I even told you, Alec, my brain was fried when I did Fields and Lamar. I was just
yeah.
like, oh my god, this is so gross. I couldn't even stare at the screen anymore when I put the projections up for like 24 points a game. I was just like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Do me favors, really had to take a running back.
Bijan and Jameer on the same team.
Oh,
Interesting. Steph's got Kelsey, Eckler, Debo, Mike, setting up some Chargers action going on here. Let's see what Chris has got. Let's see. I don't know what I want to come back to me here. I'm pretty open. Like, I've not been forcing stacks, so we'll see. What's there. Keenan goes.
So something I've noticed, which is a little surprising to me, is how Joe Burrow has just been kind of falling. I've seen him as late as like pick 50s. And I think that's kind of weird because you think with the Bengals Cincinnati versus the Chiefs, it's like that was something you would want, right?
Yeah.
You think that would be shooting up the boards. But he's still not climbing. When the schedule released, he was at pick 39. Now he's at 41.
Is Jaco gonna do it? God, he did. He had Higgins. I mean, it made sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was the pick there that I wanted. Doesn't happen. Let's see.
If you guys don't know, I tweeted out earlier today about my Cardinals hate.
Love this spot.
If you're playing for regular season, guys, and I mean this, like, dude, do not be taking
I'll go Terry.
any of these Cardinals. Like you're losing 6 games. You're basically having 2 suspended players on your team. In my mind, with Colt McCoy possibly leading this team, like it's gonna be terrible. He only threw 1 touchdown in 4 games.
Terrence asking where we're at on Mixon. I think he was a great value a week ago when he was going in the 90s, but he's already been boosted up. I'm pretty sure.
I think he started in the 80s, 70s when
he's already up to 64 ADP. Yeah, you could get him a few rounds later. Like it's tough now. Like, I mean, he's probably still a good pick because if he does get cleared of everything, and that's still very unknown. I mean, he's going to boost up probably into the 3rd, 4th range in here with with this range of running backs, probably like right after this tier behind Brees, like in the Najee range. So,
I
you
mean,
know,
so
if you want to add him, it makes
I'm gonna
some sense.
I'm gonna push back a little on this one. He's RB21. Even with his climb, he's still RB21. He's generally finished as a top 12 RB. A season ago, he was even further down the road than that. It, he's not pretty to watch. He's not by some extreme measure this dynamic running back that's going to go for 95 yards and just crush it in one run. But RB21 and he's cleared. Are you telling me he doesn't get to RB21? Like he's going to be like RB like 12. And so you're getting at least 9 positional values on him. So I think he's still a buy, and this is still only what 7% of the draft completed, so you're still getting value on 93% of the field, or
Yeah.
whatever left of BBM is at right now. BBM is still very very much early, so you still have plenty of advantages by taking someone like Mixon that's waiting on the news, because once that news breaks, he's pick 40, 30, maybe not 30, but he's like at least pick 40. He'll be in Najee range, so
Yeah.
you're gonna lose that many pick spaces and positional spaces. And he could be your RB1, in a weird way with a late pick. Like that's not terrible. He could be a very strong anchor, starting anchor pick for a discount. So I think he's still a shot. I think he's still worth buying. I'm not sold like on Mixon's situation, but if you're someone that's thinking that everything's clear, then yeah, you take it. I've taken him a few times
Yeah.
because you're gonna get value if everything clears out.
My point is like, it's the point of drafting now. Like, if you're not willing to take on risk, like, why are you drafting right now? Like, if you want to know
There we
all
go.
the information, draft in August. The reason you're drafting now is to try and build these super teams because the off season people are gonna tear their ACL, like it's gonna happen. So like you're trying to build, these super teams. Also, I gotta point out, we are going against each other's least favorite Week 17 game. I have Kittle and McLaurin, and you have Justin Fields.
Yeah, I know.
We're like,
It's a
yeah, no,
pain.
these games they're not as exciting as people think, and we just each draft each
Yeah,
other.
I took, like I said, we pitched these for the right ones. I said, hey, I would rather at least have Fields. I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm taking DJ Moore and I hate Fields and Moore. So it's not the worst.
Yeah,
But you're right, it is funny.
bye weeks by team. Here you go. Pound is hooking us up.
Pound knows.
If you're
what's
in the
up.
draft and you need some bye week info, I need to look back at my Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins to see if I think I can make it through without it. Obviously, you can. It's not like a given. You have no chance to make it through.
This one's tough. Do I take the younger guy with JSN? Just nope. Screw you guys. I am gonna go with my boy Mike Evans.
It's time to feature a new banner on the show. Davis doesn't know about this, but we have a new banner. It's Davis drafts an old. He just selects Mike Evans. So every time he does this in a draft, we get our new banner up there.
I love my old guys. I consider taking JSN there. I don't know with the Steelers Seattle though. We'll see. I mean, I trust Seattle to go off. Penny Pickett. If I'm not taking much Pickett, I have to argue that I'm not really taking a lot of Steelers either, but they're going late enough. Your team is pretty solid. I mean, Terry McLaurin at the third receiver, and you got your Kittle. Like that's cool.
And I
Like,
got an
that's smart.
anchor. Yeah,
I think
like
Kittle
that.
crushed that week too. Actually, against the Commanders, he completely crushed them.
I think having an elite tight end is going to be
Always good.
more important this year too, with like how tough it's going to be to advance to 1 of 16. Like that's really going to separate you if you can get a big time tight end performance. Obviously, those are tough to come by, and they're not, perfectly predictable. But I think it can be really important. Let's see.
It's hilarious stacking though, Terry to Kittle. I do like that a lot actually. I feel like that's probably not a combo many people get. Kittle slips a lot in a lot of drafts.
Yeah, and I got reached on both a little bit, so I don't know how that'll work.
Fine.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do stacking wise though, because obviously I'm not going to get stacks with my top 2 receivers. My other 2 pass catchers are questionable at quarterback position, so I'm gonna have to kind of Probably find some mid-tier stacks, some less exciting stuff to do.
I mean, you can still stack your Chase games down the road. You can get like Chase with Rishi Rice, Sky Moore,
No,
MVS.
I'm talking about actual
Oh,
like
I mean the quarterbacks.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, you're kind of SOL on that one.
Unless we do some like
You can get Sam Howell and Brock Purdy.
yeah. We could. That is something we could do. We're
That is
gonna
something
take
you could do.
Lockett.
You could rebuild the winning team, which is Saquon and Daniel Jones.
We're doing. Oh no, Chris G's gonna do it. Oh my god, I thought I had the turn. I was gonna get my Tony Chase as my first Bengals Chiefs exposure, but
You just gotta pay attention to your opponent, man.
I also like these running. I want to get one of these running backs here too, and Chris takes Tony. Oh yeah,
What are we doing? This is ridiculous.
What?
Some of these teams are gonna be goofy. I'm watching Trevor Lawrence fall 14 picks. I'm actually kind of excited.
I almost took him,
Yeah.
just because like I could do the Trevor and do Ingram and have like two really good tight end positions, and then get Zay. Like it's not the sexy stack with
Panthers defense is pretty stout, but they got injured last year and fell apart, and they were part of the winning team for some contest, right? So maybe Trevor has magic against them.
Marquise is there. Let's
free value for Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know what I want to grab here, because
guys, just real quick, always name these drafts when you guys are done, so we know that who was the sharpest sharp in our drafts, right?
Go ahead and grab Akers.
Akers.
Yeah. Also, I didn't even mean. I don't know if that was the best pick, because Saquon, they play each other week 17. My two running backs, but you know what? That doesn't mean two running backs can't go off in the same game. It's less likely.
Yeah.
It's not impossible though, especially with as much pass catching as they're two capable pass catchers. So.
They're both solid. I mean, they both had a strong finish last year. Besides, Saquon had a kind of a dud week 17, but his week 16, 15 was tremendous, and Akers finished on 4 100-yard games. Got nothing against that.
Steph completed her Chargers stack. I like that a lot.
See, you should have just given him Lockett. You messed up. Titans, Texans. This actually makes me move Treylon Burks up a little bit, because he's going to go against like this Houston team.
Yeah.
I've been taking him on your request, and I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of glad I did. I'm kind of glad I took a few of them these days.
I like Treylon Burks. Like I don't know, he just really flashed. We talked about this on previous streams, but
he was my favorite receiver coming into the class. When he got taken to the Titans, I was excited, beyond excited.
And it seems like Tannehill is gonna play this year, so or at least gonna. For the Falcons. That would be awesome. Gosh, I would love I would take away everything I said if he was the Falcons quarterback.
Drake London and him would be.
How high does Kyle Pitts' steam go from the 6th round now if they had Tannehill?
There we go. My guy comes back. James Conner, baby. I mean, I don't like his week 17 outlook, but this dude had a monster season last year, and I overlooked it hard.
Yeah.
I did the projections for James Conner. He's a 5 out of 5 star buy for me if things are even remotely the same he did last year. He's probably my favorite buy. I picked 90 on average. He signed me up. Oh, look, I get my boys, my bringbacks. Oh my god. Oh, Saints, Bucks. Oh my god, week 17.
Literally just leave this up in perpetual. It's 3 straight olds from Davis.
Oh my god, they're so old. It's so good. My team social security, baby. Team social security.
Oh my god.
You guys are haters, but like it's so true though. Like it pays off. I don't think they share bye weeks. We're good times.
That's fair.
I was taking so much Gabe Davis lately, and I'm like, no, I don't think I want him anymore against the Patriots in weeks. Oh god, it's so bad.
Yeah, if anything, the Patriots I think they're gonna actually have a decent defense this year.
Shout out to Terrence on this one. I do love AJ December.
Yeah.
AJ Dillon is just like that guy. He shows up every December, every winter. Aaron Jones can't do it forever all the time, and this guy shows up randomly. He gets these like 60 yards for 2 touchdowns, and we're just like, AJ Dillon, I pick 100 against a bad Viking, Packers defense. Against a bad Vikings defense, it's very possible. Um, so it's okay, Stone
This is a
Cold.
tough spot here.
I'm older by far than those guys, at least in that age, but NFL old, right? NFL
Yeah,
old.
it's all relative, right?
Ugh. So I've been trying to get these like late RB builds a little bit harder. I do like my Najee. I would have grabbed Najee if I could have, but somebody decided to robust it up on my face. But
Let's
it's
see.
cool. I think these two backups are fine. I think what I have right now.
Yeah, I do not love this spot. This part of the draft's gross.
I mean, Tua, we just talked about it, right? Week 17
We
could be
did,
good.
but I just don't have a stacking partner for him. I don't know if I'm rolling out naked to
Okay.
a.
Just get Durham Smythe.
Yeah, let me just grab Durham Smythe. That'd be
I
great.
just don't think you have any stacking partner that feels good right now.
I mean, I don't have a quarterback that feels good right now.
That's true. I mean, you could grab Kirk, go for some Osborne down the road,
Yeah,
or
I'm just gonna
or
take. I'm
Kirk and
taking
grab some
BPM. I'm grabbing
Packers.
Bateman.
There we
I
go.
think this. I think after him, it's a teardrop to
Chosen
Juju
Anderson.
Lazard. Chosen Anderson.
Please don't. I actually straight up do not like Robbie Anderson. I straight up don't like the guy. I think it's just problematic for teams. That's a no go for me.
Same.
Every year people were just pitching how much they love like, oh,
Just
take
Chris
Robbie,
building
he's
over
such a
him.
guy, better for best ball.
He gets his
And he has not
Jettas.
done it. Ooh. Damn, that's a risky team with that Hopkins Tony. That's probably not a regular season team for sure, but
And
that's probably gonna be a
Jameson. Chris,
Jameson Williams. No more regular season prizes for you, my friend.
maybe. Man, this is a tough spot. I don't recommend this. We're reaching 10 picks, 11 picks. It's around. We got to get some quarterback that with some upside with a guy we have to stack with. Like
That's not bad. I think
it's 10 picks. It's
you
not the
call it a
worst.
round, but I call it pretty much like where it's at because it's not like he was originally at 105, 104 not long ago.
Yeah.
Um,
And I like Gino.
yeah.
Ideally,
He took my quarterback.
who wants the regular season prize? I want the 3 million. Fair. That's fair. That team is could win the 3 million.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying to like take it for straight out, but a little bit of a refund would be nice coming into my $3,750 check that I'm gonna
He's
be
got
putting
his
in every week.
anchor wide receiver though. Like I mean, Justin Jefferson, you can take on some risk when you have one of those top two guys.
Ooh. Tony Williams though, like there's a good chance they just
It's
don't
tough.
play.
It's tough. But I don't know. I like the players, so we'll see.
I agree. I do like the players.
You do not like Tony. You don't have to lie.
No, I meant Williams. I like Williams a lot. I hate Tony. I hate Tony. But I like
You don't have to lie because Chris is here.
So here's the I do like Tony if he was on the field. I think the guy's
Yeah,
electric beyond, and I've said it. I think he's just a good player.
I saw he's a fun player. I saw a funny tweet today though. I think someone replied to one of Davis Maddox's tweets with like, "Have you ever seen Kadarius Toney ever look like a normal wide receiver for a single play of his NFL career? Like, he just doesn't play the position like a wide receiver, which is fine. He's so exciting. He's so fun, like as a gadget guy. But I am worried he's never going to be more than a gadget type player. But
I am in a rock and a hard place. Do I just? This sucks. I don't like where I'm at, but I think I'm gonna do it anyways.
should I fire up the banner?
No, this guy's young. I'm gonna take the stack. I'm gonna get the stack.
Tua. Okay, yeah,
Take
you
the
got your
fallen
Tua Waddle.
ADP.
That's good. And you're done. You're done with two QBs like that. I like that.
QB. Yeah,
I like that.
When I was doing the numbers for how to get to weeks, these projections for how a season should finish,
Yeah.
as much as we disparage at least a little bit of elite quarterbacks, the numbers they give, if you can build the right roster, it's probably the best way to get top 10,000
You got
teams.
AJ Dillon. And you know, I don't say this often, but I actually really like your team.
Thank you so much. You're so mean. Oh my god. But yeah, it's fine.
I like this team. You don't have to stack Fields. I like the way you did kind of a zero RB here, but you got three guys that should play. And I like your wide receivers. I actually do. Like, I think getting the Evans Thomas correlation for week 17 makes it more palatable. Um, it's a good team. I like what you're building.
Yeah, it gets there.
It's a good team.
But like when the way I projected out these numbers, I was just like, Justin Fields is too hard. It's good. I would say Lamar is probably the best value though. Like Lamar is probably the best value quarterback if you're going for the elites. If you're talking about Joe Burrow up, I don't think there's any value better than Lamar. But if I have to suck it up with Justin Fields and get a little weird of a two quarterback set, I think this is fine.
Yeah.
We already know two QB is like already top tier next to 3 5 7 3s. So I think I'm gonna build it this way, get the stacks, and see how we go.
Yeah.
See, Steph, I know, right? That was painful.
I think Burrow's a good value too, especially if he keeps sliding into the fifth. Yeah, late fourth, fifth.
Exactly.
I think it's great. Like any of these quarterbacks that start to like, I think that's something I'm gonna watch for. The first of the elites that start sliding back a little bit, I am gonna start going hard after them because I do think elite. Yeah, Herbert's another one. I think I'm gonna have a
So
lot of Justin Herbert personally
when
because
I
it's
was
so easy to stack.
when I was doing the Lamar numbers to Fields, and I was actually about to do Burrows too, it comes up short a little on Burrow, but Burrow at pick, like you said, pick 40 something, like it's going to be good. And so the value order for me would be Lamar, Burrow, Fields. Like you're getting these very strong quarterbacks that could two of them can give you 400 points and the third one gets you like 375,
Yeah.
by week 17, right? Which is comparable like Derek Carr is like 260 or 290 or something. It's 100 point disparities. So like I think when I've dodged Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, it's because I can look at Burrow, I can look at Lamar Jackson. And maybe in this case I just took Fields because he slipped a little bit further. But I like that. And I think I'm okay with it.
I like it.
I mean, I'm not building for regular season, but I do want to build a team that can have consistency of 150 points a week because that's what you need in week 4, 15, 16 anyways. You need that. Can my team survive these playoffs? And that's so tough to do. As anybody who played last year or the years before has understood that. Like it's hard. It's so hard to get to finals.
Yeah, it is, and like I'm sorry. So I reached on Russ here. I'm trying to think of some guys that I could easily get a backstack with, and he's someone. There's still 3 or 4 of his pass catchers that we can target. Um, so I
Yeah,
like that.
that makes sense.
I was going to if Lazard didn't go, what Jacob did here, where he tapped Lazard Rogers, because I was gonna take Lazard and then get Rogers because I don't think Chris would add a third QB to his team, but that got sniped, so he had to pivot there. Oh no, did I snipe?
You always snipe Steph.
I
I don't
do.
think you know this, but I think you hate her.
Oh, that
I,
is
I
not good.
honestly think you just do not like her, and you you just
My,
don't. You
my
just don't.
bad.
So I know we only talked about biotics a little bit,
Yeah.
but you know what's one thing that did kind of throw me off that I think is gonna wreck my teams a little bit more than I thought is Dolphins Eagles. You're talking about four of the top receivers in 25 are two of them. Those two teams have bye weeks.
Yeah.
Like Dolphins Eagles, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, all share bye weeks, and they're the top 24 picks in the draft. Um,
It's week 10 though. You still have weeks to recover. Like at least it's
you
not week 14. Like your
I think
most important.
if you take two of them, right, you got to think about this. It's taking Tyreek, Waddle, and like Devontae. You could be out three receivers
Yeah.
that week, and then you'll have what 4 to 5 more that are probably not anywhere near as good because you probably had to stack other positions at some point. So you could be sitting there from top three receivers to like the bottom, what, wide receiver 4 to 5s, and you could come up short really bad those weeks.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about like.
Did someone take Cole Komet? You
Mhm.
guys are just mean, dude. What the hell?
Sorry,
I
at least
was
it's
gonna
Justin Fields though.
I was gonna stack my Cole Komets at Justin Fields. Oh well, just got to cry about it later. Uh, alright. I gotta get a tight end here. Uh, damn, Jake McKinnon's at 135.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous.
he rose up a lot there.
Man rose from the dead.
It's a tough range. Like this is where I feel like the draft starts to drop off bad, especially at wide receiver. There's still running backs here I like a lot. Um, but yeah, you need to have like a good stable of wide receiver. I mean, wide receivers by this point because it falls off so hard. And in the room we're in, like it's tough.
I was considering taking Texans, Titans here, Chig, Schultz, but I think that's gonna bite me because they share bye weeks right now. Um, I know that I could get Juwan later because of the news that has gone forward for Foster Moreau, but I'm still gonna take Juwan. I'm still in on him, and I still
I
get to
am
go with my
too.
stacks in my bye weeks.
I'm still in on him. I will say it makes it murkier that tight end room because you still got
Yeah,
Taysom there. You've got 2 or 3 running backs there. It's a tough like a lot of mouths to feed, but I do think Juwan showed enough to where I believe in his pass catching upside. Yeah, I like
yeah,
Hodgins as well.
that's a good one. I mean, like I said, I'm just gonna double tap my tight ends. I gotta balance this out a little bit. Kendrick Miller would have been a good pick here, I think. Also for my team specifically would have been nice.
Yeah.
Kerrick McKinnon at 135, man. Now that's talk about jumping the shark. Like that's it. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Oh God.
He's not for me at that price.
No, no. He was a cute pick last year at the end, but you're talking about a guy at pick 135 that totaled what 800 yards and 10 touchdowns, with 9 of them being receiving.
Yeah.
Running backs just don't get 9 receiving touchdowns like back to back seasons. That's not a normal stat line that I can think of for most guys. Can you think of running back that like double digit receiving touchdowns back to back seasons
No,
on
not
56
unless it was like
receptions?
CMC. Maybe did he do that? It's
Maybe I
tough.
don't know. I don't think he did 10. Now with 56 receptions, that means that man caught a touchdown every five what 5 attempts.
Yeah, that's a big fall there. I think for Alvin Kamara to get him all the way at 137. I think it's worth the risk.
Pop shot, yeah.
Still some fun guys left. Yeah, I agree with this take on all 3 of them. I'm excited for Kincaid, like,
Yeah.
and what he's going to do for the Bills' offense, but at the same time, like, it's a tough price when he might be a part-time player.
Yeah. I'm not in on any of those guys too much, honestly. Odell is like I think Odell will do better than we expect, but it's still gonna come up short of relevancy, right? You're talking about pick 110
Yeah,
for a guy that lost 2 ACLs. Like it's really tough. I know people crack on my Michael Thomas, but at least Michael Thomas came on the field last year and showed that he could do something. Like we don't know what Odell could do anymore. We have literally no idea.
yeah,
Uh, the only upside right now I will give to him is that he's playing with Lamar, who is a MVP caliber quarterback that does spread the ball, that is fantastic with less. Um, I think I was doing Odell numbers. He came about 700 yards, 600, 700, 800 yards, which is like pretty good, but you're taking him ahead of like other guys that could possibly do more.
yeah.
I don't know what his touchdown count is going to be. Like I don't expect Odell to get like 8
I saw
touchdowns.
you did your projections for Baltimore. I think that target share might even be high. Like I personally would flip um Zay and Odell, but
It doesn't
stuff.
change the. It doesn't move the needle a ton either way. Um, because
Yeah,
it all comes down to like it's Mark Andrews' team. It really is. It's Mark Andrews. It might even be some of Likely's. Uh, the percentiles I used from them was I think last year they had the 46% of targets went to tight ends. The year before that it was like 29 or 30. So it was a big shift when you have no receivers. So who knows what that's going to look like with 3 pretty solid guys on the roster. Once again, on paper, not realistically. Either way, like I said, I'm not sold on Odell. That's gonna be
yeah.
tough. Some guy out there is gonna have Odell, Jarek on one team, and I'm gonna be like, okay, like I pick 130s, like cool. Watch us be wrong. Watch them have like just Hall of Fame seasons, and we're gonna be done.
I would be surprised.
I would be too. I think I'd be okay, like getting done with it.
Steph missed out on Gallup.
I was looking at Gallup too. I was like, oh, I could get him, stack him with my CD. This be fun. I was wrong. And you know what sucks too is there's really no like. I mean, what do I? There's no stacks for me at this point with my Cowboys. I can't take. They're all gone. Should I
What?
just take out him more?
Chark on? No, Chark's not on Detroit anymore. He's
Yeah,
in
he's not.
Carolina.
What Marvin
You think
Jones?
Sam Laporta for a 3 tight end build?
I'd rather just take Chig then if it gets coming back to me. I just suck up that whatever.
ADP value.
Yeah.
I like Laporta though. I think if he's gonna have a chance to as a rookie tight end.
Oh, there goes my MVS. I was looking at too.
Oh man, I was ready to press the banner.
I guess I just take Chig and just be done. What do I have? Screw it. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Chig here.
I like that. You're just going for the 3 straight mid-tier tight ends. That's not something I do a lot. I think that's a pretty big investment in guys that like. I don't know. We're not sure that. Well, Juwan, his role is now in question, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is this something you do a lot, or did it just kind of happen
No,
this draft?
I'm just gonna take it for this draft because two of them one of them came at like pretty solid value. So there's not much I could, I'm just gonna take the value when I can. And then this is a pretty sharp room, right? I could say, well, I could push for Conklin, but I feel like everybody in the room is saying, I can just wait for Conklin. Like, what I mean? Like, I just feel like because Higbee's usually my guy that I take around here, but he was gone. Like he was already gone. So I wouldn't surprise me if like pick 180, Conklin's gone.
Yeah.
So there's no fallback. In a regular room, I'll wait. But when I kind of don't care for the receivers here, it's fine. I'll push it down and see where I get at.
I like the Singletary pick. He got a little Houston team correlation going. I like that.
Yeah, not my favorite by any means, but I'll take it. They do share bye weeks, which is going to be kind of painful, but I don't have Derrick Henry anyway, so it's fine. It's just going to be that tight ends that share the bye week.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too.
And I think the tight ends are the best weapons on like both teams technically. That isn't Treylon Burks at this point. You got Schultz on Houston, and then Chig on. It's the second best weapon on his team. That isn't Treylon.
Mims was thinking about that, wanting him to come back. But because of the room we're in, I saw his ADP was 175, and I had 167. So I thought about reaching like a full 2 rounds, but I decided to try and push it.
Yeah, and see, that's what I mean. Like the room it's a sharper room. It's not like
it's a wide receiver heavy room too, which is
exactly. So I think you just have to kind of. I can't assume certain guys are going to be there. That's what's going to end up killing me in these drafts is assuming, oh, I have a fallback plan, and then it just doesn't work. It doesn't happen.
Facts. Yeah, Jaden Reed was definitely thinking about him. Man, this is a tough spot. I don't know what I want to do here. We're going to go for a little bit of a team bet with Van Jeff.
Oh, my guys, no.
Van Jeff with the Rams bet with
used to be pick
Akers.
200s.
He did. I'll let Chuba here. Let's see. We're going tank. I'm gonna add tank. Or should I do 3 QBs on this one? I feel like I'm good with 2. I think I picked Russ at a spot. I have a bet on him being good, and so I'm gonna stop with 2 on this one. Would you go with 3rd here? Like, would you have Tech Stafford on?
I wouldn't have forced Stafford. I've seen Stafford fall. I was in that brick draft. He went undrafted, I think. Yeah. Like he just straight up went undrafted, which is weird. I don't think you have to. Your quarterbacks are strong, but you should, if possible, to grab a 3rd. That's like Stafford. I'd maybe consider it. Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's like I would take him as a falling value.
I even have some options for like Sam Howell. I could text Sam Howell on. I kind of like this RB room. Also, got a little bit of Jalen Warren, week 17 with my Geno and Lockett, Pittsburgh, Seattle. So a little bit of week 17 action going there. Didn't really force it. I like taking Jalen Warren a lot anyway. Yep. I like Richie James a lot.
Yeah, that's an interesting one to take also. I think Richie
James. I need more
football player.
Well, I think too, like not Richie James. Who's I just about to Richie? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not as excited on Richie James after the Rashee Rice pick. I was meaning Rice. He's someone I wish I had more of earlier. I should have jumped on him because a good point too. Like just betting on the Mahomes offense, of course. But like, if Sky doesn't have the season Sky has last year, where is Rice going? Like, if you're just saying he doesn't exist or like he wasn't the second round pick that busted, like I think we'd be doing the same thing with Rashee Rice, and I think like eventually one of these receivers is gonna hit with Mahomes, and it's gonna be like massive. I believe that, especially if they keep taking shots on these. We've seen second round receivers have turn out amazing. Obviously, this class everyone thinks was weak, and by all accounts it seems to be. But I think that's an interesting point that like he might be still be undervalued.
I'm in a weird boat with some of these receivers.
I don't think Stafford goes undrafted really anymore. He was going super late at one point.
No, today he did. It was not something normal, but
Oh,
even
he
now,
went undrafted in your draft?
in that brick draft I
I
was in.
think I missed you saying that. Sorry.
Yeah, in that brick draft, he went undrafted or like pick
Yeah.
210. Like he straight up fell, and I was like thinking about taking him as my third.
Yeah.
I was like very tempted in this like weird team I was on. I was like,
I definitely don't think he should go undrafted.
he shouldn't. But we're talking about him right now at pick 188. He's still not getting picked up. So
Yeah.
I think people are just afraid that he just takes an injury at some point, and then you're just without a quarterback. I know it doesn't coincide with Cooper Cup, but like that's just the people's mentality on it, right? Like people don't want 9 dead games randomly. I don't think that's the case, but it is, very possible.
Yeah. The injury stuff too is tough with him. Like
It's the injuries.
yeah.
They're like really serious spinal cord injuries. It is very scary. I still think he has the potential to be very usable though.
Yeah. For sure.
No, I was a little bit wrong. I thought Conklin would get taken by now, or it was about to be. There's a lot
I think
of hype on
I'm
Conklin. He's
chilling
pushing.
with my 2 tight ends here with Kittle and Dulcich. They are on the same bye though. I didn't know that.
Who?
San Fran and Denver, but that's
Oh.
tight end. It's less important, I feel like.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna go ahead and grab my double.
Tim Patrick. That's a tough one because there already is so many receivers on that team, and he's come off an ACL tear. It's like really tough.
It is. I am not a big Cortland Sutton person, so I'm betting on Tim Patrick.
Him being traded.
Yeah. Let's see. Man, do I take the falling Stafford? Jeez. God, Gino and Russ.
Oh, that's a good combo from Chris G, TJ, and Tyler.
Yeah, I was thinking about after seeing Kittle and Dulcich, I'm not as worried about tight end bye weeks, so let's see. What do we want to do here? I don't love this spot. I'm just gonna take the fall on Stafford. I think Gino and Russ, where I picked them, is a good investment. But I'm getting Stafford 34 picks past ADP. Akers and Van Jeff is not the best stack. I could have grabbed Purdy, like Terrence is saying. He should be ready for camp, and it seems like he's gonna be, but or at least for week 1. But I'll take that fall, and I have the slight double, even though it's running back.
We got James Robinson, Robinson is competing for a role behind Stevenson.
Yeah, he's competing, and will be beaten out and cut.
It's kind of weird to have a guy like that, though. I know his contract was like not a lot of it was guaranteed, but it's interesting that they're like, hey man,
it's like $100K guaranteed.
Yeah, he's like $8 million worth of like possible pay. It's so weird.
Steph gets her Detroit double with Marvin Jones here in the 17th, which with Jameson Williams
Claypool
missing.
I hate Claypool though.
Yeah.
Straight hate him.
Palmer goes. I thought about taking him to get my Chargers Broncos week 17, but that's kind of a place where I used a tiebreaker there where didn't need it.
Doing that Jets Browns, Corey Davis, Amari Cooper. Gus Bus is gone.
Oh, your Gus Bus goes.
Yeah, I didn't need it. I have Dobbins anyways. It wasn't a pick for me. It could be on some drafts, not in this one.
What's up, Paul? I think we're just ripping this one today. Glad for you to make it. I know Pete streamed tonight, so that was nothing he doesn't usually do.
Which is fine. We get it. We understand.
Rojo goes. Let's see. I don't know what I want to do with this.
Zeke, Rojo. People still take a Rojo. That's so weird to me. I can't. I cannot.
Chris Jesus, run it back. I can't run it back tonight, unfortunately, but one of these we'll do too. Man, I do not love
I consider taking Cedric Tillman actually to really stack up that game to get the Jets Cleveland. Do you think that he has a shot at being relevant this year, Cedric Tillman?
I think so. Because, I mean, DPJ's been in the league for how long? Like, he's okay. Like, he makes a big play. He makes a big play every now and again. But they picked this, they picked Tillman in the 3rd round. Like, this wasn't a 5th, 6th round flyer. So I think he definitely has a chance.
Third round receivers are tough though. Like they don't really succeed too often. And plus they still have Elijah Moore and Njoku, who we both think are pretty good, right? Like Njoku more so than Elijah at this point, but they're still pretty good. You got Cooper. It's a tough climb. He's gonna be fighting for just DPJ spots basically.
We're gonna go ahead and grab Fan. I feel pretty good about where we're sitting.
Gross.
At these positions. That gives us the double with Gino.
That's a good set of stacks.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, I like our stacks here. We got a couple week 17 stuff built in there as well on each one. I like this running back room. I think it's pretty solid with some contingent upside guys.
Basically, yeah. Round 3 Saquon Barkley, which is amazing. I mean, the 102 paid off for you.
So let's see what we did week 17. We gotta see if we ended up with any of it in our first draft. What did you set up with your team?
So it might be easy to show on the other side of the screen. Let's go the other way so we can see the whole lineup a bit better. And then we'll look at one of our buddies too. So right off the bat, Justin Fields. No stacks for him. I didn't really take any of the Falcons either. I just want him as a solo player.
Which I think is totally fine with a player like Justin Fields.
Yeah. Tua, Dobbins, and Jalen Waddle for that week 17. I do think that Dobbins is just a good player, and I do think the Dolphins defense outside of Chris Wilkins is pretty bad against the run. So I think that's gonna be pretty fun to have. I got nothing for Arizona because I didn't grab any Eagles, but all the Eagles are already gone by then. But I think he's just gonna be a good player. We're talking Devin Singletary versus the other Texan I took, Schultz, and then Chig for week 17. And then I betted on Cleveland versus the Jets a little bit, and then I took double Giants to just bet on a Giants receiver going off. And then obviously Tampa, New Orleans. Have a good night, Jason. And then Tampa, New Orleans is where it's at for me too. As I told you guys, I am in on that game. And then, basically pretty simple.
Yeah, I like how it kind of shows too, like, we didn't really do anything out of the ordinary on these teams that we wouldn't have normally drafted, right? And it's easy to kind of build in the week 17 stuff without, going crazy or anything like that.
I think the only change I could be recommended for is maybe the 6 RB there versus my only having 5. But yeah, I still have a good ADP bucket though.
I think your team was probably a 6 RB team, or would have been for me. This team, I'll be honest, I think was a little bit safe. Going with these 3 QBs, I took the Stafford ADP fall, the 34 picks. I'll take that. Got him with Akers and with Van Jeff, and of course they do play the Giants in week 17. I got Gino to lock it with Jalen Warren in week 17, and then I've got Russ Wilson with Tim Patrick and Greg Dulcich. I didn't love it. Looking back now, to seeing how much Stafford fell, I probably would have rather, because I did kind of then reach on Tim Patrick a little bit. I probably would have rather not done the Russ pick and then did Stafford Purdy late or Stafford Howell late instead. Because especially not having...
Can't guess a 34 pick fall though.
You can't guess that, but I could have done like Gino Howell Purdy or something. But that's kind of a risky second QB. But I don't mind that. I like this RB room. Got Akers, Damian Harris, who we love. Jalen Warren and Tank for a rookie contingent upside. Of course, you got Jamar Chase. Never was able to stack him up with anyone, but we're totally fine having.
You tried though. You said you at least tried.
We almost got 4th round Joe Burrow, which would have been which would have been awesome. Got Devonta Smith, one off. I still don't know these exact for Eagles Cardinals. Yeah, I don't have it going from the Cardinals. Let's see. Lockett, as we talked about, we got Bateman as a one off, and then Van Jeff and Patrick, and then Kittle to go with our Terry McLaurin. So yeah, a few little week 17 stuff mixed in here, some good one off pieces, and so I kind of like what we did here.
Let's pull up a person. Who do you want to pull up?
Let's go get Steph's team.
Yeah, Steph is a homie. Let's pull up Steph's team. So Steph pulls up Justin Herbert, Jared Goff. So double elite quarterback. There's no reason to grab a third. Obviously, we like that.
Oh, double elite, huh?
I would say just one elite and a pseudo.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree. Goff.
QB.
Yeah, it's a 2 QB team for sure.
It's a QB team. There's no reason to get a third. So
No.
you got Eckler, Charger stack. Who did she get? Any Broncos?
She got Mike Williams and Cortland Sutton.
So she got say Broncos stack there. No comebacks that we can see. Buffalo running back versus no Patriots that I could see. Saints just as a faller, that's fine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then we have Falcons. Any bringbacks with the Bears? No Bear bringbacks.
I like the Detroit stack.
Yeah, the Detroit stack though is there.
She took the fall on Goff and got.
And then, but to be fair though, she was trying to grab some Dallas. I did remember her saying that. She was like, "Hey, I'm gonna try to get that Detroit Dallas game going," and it just didn't get there. But she does have at least 2 strong Week 17 games on the pocket. Like I said, we both highlighted Detroit Dallas, Chargers, Broncos as our.
And again, Week 17 is a tiebreaker, right? You don't have to stack every single piece you take. Like it should be meant. And then of course you got Kelsey at a couple of pick slide as well. I like that. I kind of like too when you do Kelsey with a Laporta. I think makes a lot of sense. Like you're taking a risk on a rookie tight end, but you've got that consistency from Kelsey. I love that build.
I like this way more than other teams I've seen. That's like Kelsey, like Noah Fant. I hate those. I like when there's something kind of a spend on it, right? So it's a good pick.
Boyd goes with Kelsey too.
I
like it.
Steph, where was your Steelers to go back with? I'm just kidding, but no Steeler come back with that Seattle.
It was fun. First one, it's going to be a lot smoother once we learn the matchups, so we don't have to keep referencing our sheets and stuff like that. But no, it was a lot of fun.
I can't memorize this. I can't do it. It's hard.
I'll know them all in like 2 days. Don't worry.
Oh, you're too cool. Too cool. All right. Other than that, guys, see you next Tuesday. Wait. Yeah. Next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
We'll be back Tuesday.
We'll be back on it. We'll probably talk a little bit more about bye weeks. We didn't touch on it hard, but other than that, you guys have a good rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like and subscribe. It truly means a lot. And enjoy.
We don't need to tell them anymore. We have an outro that will tell them.
Yeah, enjoy our new outro. We're really excited about it.